I was walking
Have you?
across a field today, Phil.
Say again?
I was walking across a field, and it wasn't any old field. It was a field of birthday dreams. And I
Oh,
looked up, and I could see a smell, and the smell was ephemeral and ethereal and furry and a furry affair. And I caught hold of the smell, and I realised what it was. It was the luckiest wish in all the world that could only be given at birthdays. And so I caught it, but it had a little tag attached to it, and it said, "This luckiest wish in all the world only ever works if it's a solid." So I froze it, and as long as it's solid, you can have it. Let's see how we get on.
Brilliant.
Phil, can I just let you know, I had a Facebook message from someone I know called Simon Fielder, I think.
Yeah, we know Simon. Here he is. He's in the group. Hello.
Oh, is he there? Right.
I'm
Because
here.
I sent him the link, but I can't see him on the screen.
Well, we can all see him.
We can see him. He's
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. I'm a vampire, clearly.
Yeah.
He's only visible to people with an innocent soul.
Sorry, Simon, I didn't recognise you. I think you've grown a beard, haven't you, since I
Yes, I am.
Right. Okay, I'm glad you're here anyway. Sorry.
Yeah, welcome, Simon. Hello, how are you?
I'm all right, and happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. You're all lovely people. This is wonderful. Thank you very much. Got a couple of notices before we kick off. I should say welcome to Poets Out Loud, shouldn't I? And it's May, and I don't know how many more of these there'll be on Zoom. There might be one more in June, and then we might be looking at venturing back into real life. Or staying, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll cross that. Well, I think it's Becca says we'll burn that bridge when we come to it. So we'll see what happens. But, you know, stay tuned for further notices. As I say, a couple of notices. Poetry Symposium. Andy Hopkins has done some coordinating of poets and bits and pieces. I put a notice up on the Facebook page today, but there'll be a Poetry Symposium. Should be happening at Telly House on Saturday, 10th of July. I think he thinks it might be a 10 or 10:30 start, but that's still to be confirmed. But there'll be a poetry symposium happening this summer, so that's good. So 10th of July, put that in the diary. I think all the guest speakers have been confirmed, but there'll be open mic slots available for people if they wish to share bits and pieces, and also the book shop will be there for people to sell their books. So that all sounds really good, and it'd be a welcome return because I've not had one for a little while. He's also to raise some funds because I probably need to pay for the room hire and things. I think he's going to be running some online workshops for the next few Saturdays. I think fortnightly, starting this Saturday, the 15th of May. There's details on his blog, and also, as I say, I posted it on the Facebook page, the SpeakEasy Facebook page. But if people are interested, it would be great to help him out and support the Poetry Symposium. So check those posts for details, and yeah, good things. Things are moving in the right direction. Also, a reminder that we've got the upcoming online Unity Festival, and there'll be a speakeasy at some point in the day. We're still pinning down what time, and that'll be on Saturday, the 19th of June. I think I said the wrong date last time, but it's the 19th of June. There'll be more information going up on Facebook for that as well in due course. All right. And we thought there wasn't anything happening and the notice board didn't exist anymore, but no, it's still going. So there we are. So that's enough to be getting on with. If anybody has any questions, just give me a shout and I'll do my best to try and answer any queries. Okay. Cool. It's really good to see you all. And yeah, thank you for the birthday wishes and best wishes as well, because that was very kind. I was sort of reflecting on getting really old, but not old enough to have a jab. So that's the payoff. and I came up with some words, and this is them. And it's called "We Didn't Start the Fire Either." And it goes a bit like this, but the tune isn't good. So yeah. Oh, there's one more. Always happens. I go, I'm about to read, and then we get a mystery guest in the waiting room. I better hang on because it looks like it might be the boss. We've got Annie tuning in. Annie's in the room. Hello.
Oh, hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you guys? Rocking a beard, Phil. Me too.
Oh, yeah. Father Time strikes again.
Oh, bless.
I was about to kick off, but how are you? We haven't seen you for a little while, and Poets Out Loud is really your gig. So
Yeah, well, no, it's been yours for the past year, Phil. You've
I'm
been
just
absolute
babysitting.
godsend. No, well, yeah. I'm very good. I've got all sorts of exciting things going on in life, and very busy with this new job, which
Yeah.
is great. So yeah, loving the life of a hermit. I spend my day sat in front of this lovely one-eyed monster and talk to people at the other end of the country that are my colleagues, which is very strange. At the moment, I'm doing a big tidy up because we've got to have webcams at work now, and I just couldn't get the unicorns to come onto my screen, so I'm having to tidy up the background. So yes, but yeah, I've made it. I resisted going out on the motorbike to meet loads of smelly leather-clad other bikers. So I thought, no, I must come to Poets and stuff. But I do come with kind of with heavy shoulders that I'm wanting to take the burden off, and I'm looking for somebody that might want to take Poets Out Loud on.
As a going concern.
Yeah, only because I do shifts. I'm not going to be able to make it every month. So yeah, and also I mean the situation with the bistro is I actually walked out of the bistro in October, and I haven't spoke to Manon since.
Ooh.
So yeah, but that's my choice. So, but I'm quite sure if people still wanted to use the bistro because it is a super setting, I'm quite sure Manon will be open to people, and at some point I'll take a deep breath and possibly message her, but not just yet.
No. Oh, that's all right. Okay, well.
So, yeah, but if there is anybody out there, it doesn't actually take that much. It's just really being there for the evening.
Yeah.
So yeah. So because I don't know where this job's going to take me. It's so exciting. Oh, sorry, I've got the giggles. It's this water. I also, and nothing's changed. I also have no poem.
Well, that's all right. It's never stopped us before.
Yeah, exactly. So I have the makings of a poem. So that I just kept thinking, right, I'll get this sorted today, but then I kept getting pulled into meetings. So I might get it done before the end of the session.
Okay, well, we'll give you a shout and see whether you've got something.
Yeah, but I'm going to listen in the background.
That's cool. We've got Susan there who's listening as well. Okay, cool. All right. Okay. Well, that's interesting. So we might have a venue. We might not have a host, but we might.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't want it to die off because it is a super little event. And it's just mainly because I'm not going to be able to be there all the time. So yeah, and if it goes to Zucchini's, I'm absolutely fine with that because it's also bike night on Wednesdays. So
I'm sure Manon would still let you through the door.
She probably would. But I don't want to go through the door at the moment. So
right, sure.
Yeah. But there are other options in Cockermouth, I'm sure. But I don't know what's going to happen if she's going to even do the open mics anymore. So
Well, we'll have to wait and see what
yeah,
has to go
what
into
happens
it.
after next week.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know who I work for, Phil, and we're starting to get busy again. So
Oh.
I'm not holding my breath for venues at the moment.
Oh, well, we might be on Zoom for a little while yet then.
Yeah. Right, enough of that. Poetry. Get
Oh,
on with
right,
it.
cool.
Come on.
Crikey. So,
I'm going on mute.
oh, well, you've given us something to think about. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Fine.
anybody who wants to know anything about that, we'll think about that at another stage, but okay.
Yeah. It's just a pipeline thing at the moment. Because I reckon it's going to be. I can't imagine Poets Out Loud being in a venue next month. Maybe
Yeah.
the month after. So
So
yeah,
be
we'll
July
see.
at the earliest then.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah. Oh, well,
We'll see.
we
Yeah.
can find out from Manon. If we all turn up, then we can probably organise it between ourselves if if it comes to it. But
I mean, to be honest, I'm not I'm never shy of stuff like that, and if needs be, I will contact her myself and just say the poets are keen to return to the bistro, and is it going to be happening? And if it isn't, do we need to find another venue? Blah de blah de blah blah
oh,
blah
well.
blah.
Well, thank you for the update. We'll figure out where we go from here, and
Yeah.
as you say, might be online for one more session at least. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Right, you lot start reciting.
Okay.
I'm going to find a pen and I'm going to get this poem done.
Cool.
So I haven't even started it. So
All right. Cool.
See you in a
Thank you,
minute.
Annie. Oh, right. Okay. So, is it Jeremy Clarkson or Alan Partridge who says, "And on that bombshell, we'll make a start." Yeah. It's my birthday today. I'm feeling old, and this is what I was reflecting on. And this is called "We Didn't Start the Fire Either." And it goes something like this. Maggie'd been stealing our kids' milk before they finally got her out the door. Berlin Wall came falling down. USSR is soon no more. Bush elected the latest madman. Kuwait oil fields invaded by Saddam. Gulf at war. What's it for? Major disappointment. Price of sterling through the floor. Freedom's long walk takes a step. Mandela made a free man. Rainbow Nation elects him leader. Meanwhile, OJ's on the freeway. Speed beneath the channel. In a brand new tunnel. Pulp Fiction, Train Spotting, Britpop mix it up. Wonderwall, all a blur. Take that, wannabe. Our new Labour just red Tories. Is Cool Britannia really Blair's winning party? People's Princess, horror crash. Two young princes dressed in black. Box office records broken by Titanic. UK giving Hong Kong back. Bill Clinton, Miss Lewinsky, a president put on trial. Sex at the White House. NATO strikes. Bosnia, Kosovo. Global conflicts grow and grow. Y2K, Millennium Bug. Will computers fall to bits? Are we all plugged into the Matrix? Hijack planes, stop the world, TV broadcasts the horror. W sends boots, Afghan bound. Hunt down Bin Laden until he's found. A war on terror, powers that be declare. The deal sealed by dodgy dossier. Marching armies, fighting to Baghdad. Would have helped if a plan you'd had. Kids are reading more and more thanks to Potter and Voldemort. Picture worlds you've never seen. Blockbuster magic hits the screen. MySpace, Facebook, Skyping, hyping, Twitter storms, changing norms. Nobel Prize for Peace, all because Obama cares. Elected on a promise of change. But can this victory quell the rage? Lehman Brothers, subprime mortgage, money lost. Normal people count the cost. Doom mongers spread their lies, play off paranoia of them and us, exploiting xenophobia. Arab Spring turning sour, Gaddafi toppled, Assad clings to power, millions become a refugee. Je suis Charlie. Establishment given a kicking, supposedly it's our own control we're taking. Brexit mess, trumped by US. 4 long years, Armageddon fears, make it great or annihilate. Mount an insurrection because you lost the election. Pandemic sweeps across the globe, social distance, wear your masks. COVID facts, Biden acts, rollout of the vaccine through COVAX. Variants are on the rise, don't want another nasty surprise. Just as long as the world keeps on turning and we stop those fires that we're burning, it'll go on and on and on and on. And there you are. It's the last 35 years. Thank you very much. Jeanette Fisher, follow that if you dare.
Well, I've been feeling old as well, but yeah. Apparently you're not too far away though, because 38 up to 40s can get the vaccine from tomorrow. I haven't done anything new. This is something I wrote a very, very long time ago, at a certain point in my life, and it's called She's Leaving. The clock on the mantle quietly chimed 10 as she placed the note by its face, then checking herself in the mirror, walked to the door, picked up her case. The note told him she was leaving, that her love for him had died, and without that love, she'd be living a lie, no matter how hard she tried. She hadn't wanted to leave him this way. She wanted to tell him face to face, but knew if she did, he'd persuade her to stay, then she'd never get out of this place. You see, she'd tried to leave him twice before, but he always talked her around and made her a prisoner in her own home whilst driving her spirit into the ground. She'd lived this way for 7 years, but now the worm had turned and she was leaving her life of servitude to find the true love that she yearned. As she put on her coat and walked through the door, she harbored no feelings of sorrow, for she knew she was crossing the threshold to a life with a brighter tomorrow.
It was great. Thank you very much for sharing.
You're welcome.
Good stuff. All right, Fernando Smith. I had got your videos that you sent me last time ready just in case, but you're here,
Oh,
so I'll
well,
save
I'll
those
be
for
off
another
then.
time. No.
The best, your present of the best wish in all the world has melted.
Oh no,
So I'm
melting
afraid-
wishes.
But I wrote you a poem. Every poem tonight is about your predicament. And some of them are based on things that you've said word for word. And I'm getting old, I'm getting on, my ties are brown and rotten. I need you here, I need you now to wipe my dirty bottom.
I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah. And I can remember you telling me once about how forgetful you were when you were 34. It's either got better or it's got worse. And this is what you said word for word while we were waiting in a queue at Aldi. And once you started speaking, you spoke with such quiet authority that the whole of Aldi was silenced as you spoke these words to somebody called Maurice. And you said, I fell in love on a weekday when the wind was crooning a cautious song, unsure of its voice, hesitant of the beauty along its high course. Your red shoes or your brown flip-flops, clopping across the mezzanine or the cobbles, trading clips with the muzak. Even now, I recall the sound rather than the footwear. I think it was a Thursday, maybe not, perhaps lust or boredom, hunger or heartburn moved me on that afternoon or morning.
It's amazing what you hear in cues in Aldi, isn't it? Excellent. Oh, I'll treasure that. Tony, follow that.
Okay, thank you. I've got one for you called Old Apart, and I wrote it just this week. Island boat trips. No promises. The skipper knows the razor reefs and the dragon hall of currents better than anyone, but squalls may creep in or mermaids play up. He grips my elbow as I board. I join the buzzing gang of tourists taking plastic bags from rucksacks and daying them on wet benches. Sit down, hold tight, we're off, curving, passing the breakwater, then burrowing the choppy sea, bright anoraks, sandwich boxes, binoculars, staking ear waters, storm petrels and illamots. In my case, I am seeking you. Will you be waiting on the jetty? Can your precious project spare 2 hours for a different sort of restoration? I'm not sure if you got my texts. Squeals as the sea spray ashes. Out in the west, the rain falls as grey veils from the cumulonimbus clouds. The island's white Uano cliffs are like approaching icebergs. The slap waves get angrier. A young lad pukes over the side as his fearful parents hold him. But behind the perspex at the helm, the skipper scratches at his beard. Now he announces the retreat. Cheers and groans, and then a churn of water as the boat turns round. The dots of people at the jetty will be no more than that today. Yes, I shed salt tears. Why not? Though desperate was I to see you, I took a sleeper, then thumbed it to make this day trip on this boat. Yet we're as far apart as ever. That's it.
Great stuff, Tony. Fantastic.
Can I ask, what's the jazz hands for? Is it
I forgot to explain that one. Yeah, that's the sign language for applause. So for British,
When we're on
you
mute,
do that.
yeah.
So you can either applaud if you like, or you can do the sign language applause, which is
Yourself, I'm just excited.
Well, some people just
Well, my name is Simon.
Oh, fantastic! Love it.
Blame Alison Shutt for that one.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Yeah, so see, we've been doing this for so long. I'm starting to forget to do all the procedures and everything. So, yeah. No, it was Barbara Rennell introduced us to the sign language waving right at the beginning. So, yeah.
I think it's great. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it back in case it would be deemed offensive, because it's like in Voyager, so where there's this thing of Captain Janeway puts her hands on the hip, which is a typical Janeway pose, but in this case of aliens, spot that pose and find it offensive. So I thought, don't do it in case it's like a different way of saying don't like it, or like it. So I just thought, let's be sure.
It's like Arthur Dent's faux pas when he argues about his cup of tea with the machine in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and it ends up causing some great faux pas insult to some aliens who are at war on the other side of the galaxy, thanks to a wormhole that opened up. But yes. Anyway, yes, I think we're nearly all back. So, as I say, Kelly, we're with you. So, what have you got for us?
Right. I've got a reworked version of a poem that I may have read to you in the past. I can't remember. But I've rewritten it as a mirror poem or a specular poem, where the first half goes forwards and then the second half reverses it, sort of thing. And it's all about this green onyx egg which I bought in Florence in the 1970s. So here it is. Memento. Indifferent to human folly, wearied by its travels, the green onyx egg rests on my desk in a house on the Cumbrian coast. When I rub its smooth surface, it takes me back to Italy in the 70s, a fug of incense and dope, stealing kisses in the olive groves, the year we stayed in a Tuscan villa, giggling in a car on a winding mountain road, hearts pounding, the world opening. On the terrace round a Ouija board, we put our fingers on the glass, laughing. Someone fainted, fear slapped us round the face. A year later, one of those boys was dead, slumped against the wheel of his first car. He took the bend too fast, and the tree was there waiting. And the tree was there waiting. He took the bend too fast, slumped against the wheel of his first car. A year later, one of those boys was dead. Someone fainted. Fear slapped us round the face. We put our fingers on the glass, laughing on the terrace round a Ouija board, hearts pounding, the world opening, giggling in a car on a winding mountain road. The year we stayed in a Tuscan villa, stealing kisses in the olive groves, a fug of incense and dope. It takes me back to Italy in the 70s when I rub its smooth surface in a house on the Cumbrian coast. The green onyx egg rests on my desk, wearied by its travels, indifferent to human folly. Thanks. I've got another really short one if I'm allowed to read it, because I've got to go at 8:30. But
okay, we'll let you, only if you tell us what you're having for dinner.
I'm not even sure, actually. It's
a mystery surprise.
Yeah, but this one's just very short, and I'm sorry it's also quite downbeat, but I'd be interested to see what you all think. The wine of life. My son keeps making wine, elderflower, nettle, you name it. Our house is filling up with flasks, tubes, demijohns, buckets, bottles. I suspect it's displacement activity due to climate anxiety. He and his friends don't do long-term stuff like paying into pensions or procreating. My son's research involves satellite images of clouds and craters. He and his colleagues look at planets, keep checking their data. Perhaps we'll be saved by your generation, I suggest. He shakes his head and says, "We've given you all the information." Thanks.
Thanks very much, Kelly. Cheers. Okay, George, what have you got for us?
Hey, Phil. I thought I'd go back to something before all the lockdown, etc. So this takes me back to 2019, June 2019, and better times. And Kelly, I think you may have heard some of this before because it was actually written at Brantwood. So it's within the grasp of Brantwood. I do not live here in the moment, nor do I live in an unknown past. There are truths of Ruskin in every stone, in the laid-out gardens where I walk, sit in the professor's bower, in bee flower, where sun-bleached clematis, already dead, still holds beauty. I do not live here in the tree-shaded clime, on those careful paths, the last of his planned terraces, moorland to be fruitful and retain its nature. How beauty is always useful, his truth, his message to generations future, his passion to see, look out on the immovable guardian, village straggling the flanks, water reflecting light and storm, gathering the seekers for enlightenment, pleasing the crowds who blindly linger, the chasers of mammon who have no resurrection. Here, if I stand and breathe, if I let time become nothing, let the eye forget I and find this truth. If I worship the ant, the broken twig, the rivulet nearly dry, faint dampness still passing to its destiny. Here in the closed visca of Ruskin's stone seat, I am rooted to him. I am dead to the hasty world. Passing fads cannot slide into my thoughts. Old worries, the remorseless step of remorse has no echo here. Nights I slept in the lodge, nights I sat on the terrace breathing. Such joy in breathing, such pleasure in seeing without filter or jealousy. Seeing the land is true, never deceives.
Oh, that was excellent, George. Thank you very much for sharing that. Yeah, love it. You were very inspired by the surroundings then.
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic place. But I mean, I was there. I think Kelly was in that course with me, or with us. Sorry, with me, with us. But it was just lovely. But it was just I was sitting in Ruskin's seat, and I was so taken with the fact that all this view behind him and all the gardens that he created round about, and he put his stone seat in a place that looked into more or less just a tiny rivulet in a tiny spot. And I sat down and I suddenly thought, yeah, it is. There's such beauty here in just looking at the tiniest thing. Yeah, but I mean, I know we should be aware of that all the time, but it's a bit like you walk through cities and don't lift your head above the stone, the shop fronts, and there's all these, yeah. But in nature, I just think we've lost touch with things a bit. Hopefully, this has brought us back to it.
I hope so. Thank you very much. Lovely. Really enjoyed it. Okay, Simon. Hello.
Hello. Well, I've always wrote poetry all through my life because my mum inspired me to write because she was a poet herself. And unfortunately, well, not unfortunately in a way, because it's a nice thing, we've scattered her ashes up at Vanadale. And, with that, it gave me inspiration to write this poem. I haven't got a title for it because I can't think of a title, but here it goes. Soon a distant memory, as darkness submits to light, and new beginnings start with the ashes of old. My breath is heard in silence, louder than in final movements, as ashes become diamonds, and from diamonds into stars. Chapters of tales once written now commit to legend, soon myth, and soon fairy tale. As old loves from old stories, now a distant memory. As I look forward to when the sun rises again, feel its light dance upon my skin. A new life to begin again, one without pain and without bond. To the chains of old, to the chains of past, crumble to dust, powder in my hands as it takes to the wind. And so I can learn to breathe again without fear, without consequence, to breathe freely, feel love's warmth surround my skin, whilst moon's blessed winds bow from the darkness, as a new light will pierce the veil, and from the light the new dawn will rise. As the final chapter closes, the sun brings a new day. Thank you.
Thank you, Simon. That was lovely. Thank you. Good stuff. All right. Janetto.
Oh,
Hello.
right. As part of Harry Gallagher's poetry class that I've just finished the course, was to write a Villanelle, which I'd never done before. And I got very frustrated with trying to follow the form and the rules. And so this is possibly my first and last Villanelle. And it's called Dancing with Villanelle. An everyday dance to the Villanelle, we soft shoe to restriction and rule, a spot turn in the chorus's spell. As refrain chasses in a confined shell, a wallflower wilts, foxtrots full, an everyday dance to the Villanelle. Or to ignore the instructor's yell, fandango towards the ferrule, a spot turn in the chorus's spell. To follow only the heartbeat swell, kick a flap with a masterful mule, an everyday dance to the Villanelle. Quick step into the quick step into the last waltz bell, and a Adana held tight in ampoule, a spot turn in the chorus's spell. Or to float free in a caravel, to bolt a foot loose and unspool, an everyday dance to the Villanelle, a spot turn in the chorus's spell. And that's that, tongue-tied and...
Oh, that's good. We can cut that out in the edit, it'll be fine. That was lovely.
Oh, grand, thank you.
That was great. I think you should do another one, so that not your only Villanelle.
I need a few spare weeks.
Right, yeah.
She said she does one every week, Phil.
Yeah, well, that's your homework now.
Every time, forevermore, you've got to do a bit of that.
Okay, right. I'll have to get my mum to write a note.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. Craig, what have you got for us?
I've got one that I wrote and one that I stole. So I'm just wondering if I should do them. They're both quite short, so I should do them now or. I'll tell you what. I'll do them both now because they're both quite short. But I'll do the one that I stole first.
Okay.
You are enough. Your teeth and your meat, your claws and your dorsal spines. You are enough. Your heart, or whatever has taken its place, nesting in the cage of your ribs. You are enough. You, dark and glorious, are enough. Withered and surviving, you are always enough. That's what I stole. And I was inspired. I'm sure everyone knows by now. A while ago, we did Phil did an anthology called Poetry with a Purpose. About
Susan did that one.
Sorry, Susan did. She's not here, so she can't claim credit. About
she is here, and she will claim credit.
Oh no, she's here now. Yeah, she's having dinner before, wasn't she? Anyway, so did a poetry anthology called Poetry with a Purpose, which I contributed to, and I noticed that the environmental issues that it was trying to solve haven't gone away. So I thought I'd try a different track. So this one's called Poetry Without a Purpose. My two poems.
Yeah, I sense another collection in the offing there. Thank you. My notes are going to be really interesting on that one. We've got Lou next, and then we'll have Val and Kevin and Annie and Susan if they've got some bits and pieces. But Lou.
I was talking to Phil yesterday and said I didn't have anything, but I haven't been writing in ages because I just got a new job. I'm doing a childcare apprenticeship at Paddle Nursery, and that's taken up all my headspace. I haven't had time to write. And then today I had to film a group session I had with some of the children for my mentor at college, and it was really weird because for confidentiality they could only film me, which meant that you couldn't really hear anything the children were saying, which meant that I sounded like I was talking complete gibberish. And then I watched it back and then tweaked what I said to turn it into a poem. And funnily enough, it had to be tweaked very little because children are very, very weird. And this is now a very weird poem in a style I haven't really done before. The yellow group, come with me, make a circle on the floor. Let's shuffle this way, please, or you'll get your head bashed by the door. Ears listening, eyes watching, voices quiet, bodies calm. We're going to talk about sharing. That's not a toy, it's the fire alarm. Who can tell me how we share? Sit up, please, eyes on me. Yes, sharing is caring, thank you. Yes, you can go and have a wee. If I have 4 cars and wanted to share, how many should I give to you? No, I'm not giving you all of them. Yes, well done, we'll both get 2. What do you do if someone doesn't share? Yes, tell the teacher, good idea. Has anyone else got anything? Don't put lentils in your ear. Yes, if someone is sad, you can hug them, but ask first, no means no. Remember, we don't give kisses in nursery to make sure germs don't grow. Now this is Tommy the timer, he's here to help us share. When he beeps, your turn is done, to make sure you're being fair. Boys, please sit on your bottoms, you just kicked your friend on the head. Would you like to say anything to her? Get a paper towel, that bump looks red. If you can't sit still, sit next to me. You'll sit still? Okay, thank you. Please don't take your shoes off. Yes, I know they're new. So can anyone tell me how we share? Yep, sharing is caring, that's good. I hope you're all listening. Please get your head out of your hood. I think we're finished up now. Ears listening, eyes watching, voices quiet, bodies calm. Off you go and play.
That was brilliant, Lou. That's a found poem. That's great.
Thank you.
And I think we've all learned something as well.
A lot of them do want to put things in their ears. It's really annoying.
Everybody does.
But we can't get them out once they've got them in, and having lentils readily available for playing with. Just accident waiting to happen all the time.
Lentils hazard. Avoid. Top tip. Lou, you've caused a storm of responses in the chat here. Good. Excellent. Okay, we'll pass on to Kevin. Have you got something, Kevin?
This one is called Side Effects. The lessons of history can be bleak. Human actions consequential. Striving for a better life can obscure the pitfalls of the time. Steel for rails made guns for war. Oil for transport filled the oceans. Plastic pollution following in its wake. A wake-up call unheeded. A normal life awaits us all. Venues open, times will change. Expectations shuffle through the open door. Waiting, wondering what is best to heal the wounds that nature's left. For us to think with regret, with sadness for our loss. Okay. The haunting echoes of their voices, sacrifices, then not known. The calculus of random chance, that someone will not come home. Commemorate their shortened lives as best we may, do not forget. Our craving for normality is stained with something undefined, side effects which only time will tell. Thank you.
Really good, Kevin. Thank you very much. Okay. Shall we now have Susan, if you've got something, and then we'll see if Annie's written a poem. Cool.
So this was written in response to going into Bassenthwaite at 4:30 in the morning on 1st of May. So I am up with birdsong and creeping frost, and a half moon edging through the sky. Not yet crepuscular, still dark, and I am the only person alive in this second. I scrape the shells of icy fingernails which have trailed their patterns upon car and gatepost, half moon watching with her sleepy eye, as I set off into a gradually pinkening sky. And as golden nudging hilltops greet my day, which I have been up before, I feel the world awaken, feel the warm embrace of water warmer than the land, feel the goddess take me as summer comes in.
Cool. Excellent stuff. Okay, Annie. Big moment. Have you got something?
I've got an unfinished poem that I started writing when I arrived. I don't know. Has somebody else got a poem to read before me?
Well, we could go around the room again if you like, and that give you some more time.
Yeah, because I think I'm almost there. I'm on the last verse.
No worries.
That'd be cool.
Okay,
awesome.
Cool. I had a message.
I'm afraid I've got to go, but thanks very much. It's been great.
No
See
worries.
you all soon.
Take care.
Bye, Kelly.
Bye.
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 Sorry, can I just clarify for poor George? I was saying what Joyce Grenfell used to say. That was one of her catchphrases. George, don't do that. I wasn't telling you not to do anything, George. Sorry.
It's okay. As soon as you put the point, but when I looked at it, I thought, "Oh my God, what have I been doing that I'm not conscious of?"
I bet George thinks we're talking about him, and then you did. Oh, I'm really sorry. It wasn't. It was just that.
No, you're so right about it. And I can't remember was it Kelly actually said Joyce Grenfell. It was. It just reminded me so much of these monologue things that are just hilarious. And it was great, Lou. Thanks. Sorry. Yeah.
I thought it was Mildred's catchphrase.
She might have said it as well, but it was Joyce Grenfell originally, which I always used to get confused with Joyce Grenfell and Luther Joyce. I think because of the Georges. So, yes. Anyway.
Well, yeah. Hazards of lentils. We're keeping an eye on you there, George, just in case you do, anything health and safety wise. All right, we're back to the beginning then. Well, this is the usual level of sort of professional sort of like content that we do. So I'm sure Simon's getting the full experience. All right. I got a message from. Yeah. I got a message from Roz saying their internet connection in Devon is a bit crackly, so they'll catch up on the recording. So not to worry on that front. Yeah, this is one. It was Kevin did a piece about photographs and bits and pieces he found in the loft and that last time I think, and I came up with these words earlier on, and it's sort of on a similar kind of theme. So it goes like that. Well, like this. It's called Posed for Eternity. Photographs are more than faces staring out from ancient frame. Pictures capture memories. But are those memories forever? When we look at our pictures, we're transported back in time. But to someone who wasn't there, there's no connection to those particular events. And why is the drive in front of your house the perfect spot for a family snap? That's one for the album. So photographs record a time and place, maybe friends, a familiar face. But with passing years, the meaning changes. Strangers take their place. In the end, memories and photographs are very much alike. They both just fade away. There you are. Thank you very much. Jeanette had to dash off there. So the next person on the list is Fernando Smith.
I was swimming in Bassenthwaite this morning at about 3:30, and I was dragged out by a large hairy man who said, you'll have to leave now because there's a famous swimmer coming and we've got to clear the waters for her. And I said, who are you? And he said, Charles Darwin. And I said, are you the Charles Darwin? And he said, yeah, that's right. It's my birthday today. I'm 35. I said, all right. I said, well, as soon as I finish writing some poems for another bloke whose birthday it is today, I'll write a couple for you. He said, all right, that'll do it. And he went off on his way, still clasping a half-empty pint of Old Peculiar from the night's revels. And this is called, so here's 2 poems for Charlie Darwin. And this one's called ATCG, which is an acronym for the types of bases found in a DNA molecule. I know this because I looked it up, but I know nothing else about that. Do I sound impressive yet? ATCG. There goes another minute of your life, waiting for the rain to stop, going out of fashion as the 5th ape pulls a thorn from his heel. Riding across the flatlands, chasing rears, you learn a new reality, struggling, suffering, death. So how do you like that? Twiddling about like some ancestor, maybe a shrew looking for a meal. You turn your collar and enter the wet evening, leaving a line of leather steps in the drying concrete. And here's the second poem for Charlie Darwin. And this is one, this is the poem that made me famous this afternoon among the scientific community, while simultaneously being excommunicated by the Pope. This is called Different Finches. Sharper eyes, quicker legs programmed for survival, killing less honed talent, genius genes purred on the flick knife of necessity. Real, imagined, studied, believed, a river of information, perhaps the bones of sinners drowned in Noah's flood, or Eden propagated from an asteroid's dash. What a brutal awakening for an aspirant parson. His pigeons tumbling, remoulded from rock doves, winging heresies like names dropping from a huge family tree. Darwin, as transformed as his thrushes, separate but joined, an underwater bridge linking continents and seen through anxious paper eyes. Ta-da.
Excellent stuff. Well, I hope there's a scientific paper being written on all those ideas.
If there's not, it won't be me who's writing it.
Right. Good stuff. Yeah.
I had a fallout with my boss the other day because he said, you're more artist than scientist. And I said, I don't agree. That was about it.
It's enough though, isn't it? It's enough to fall out about the art of science. Cool. That's good. We're coming up on 5 minutes before we've got to push the magic button. And we've got Tony next. Tony, do you think that's enough time, or do you want us to push the button and come back?
I think that's okay. Thank you.
Okay.
We'll do it. Yeah. So there are 2 things you don't need to know about this poem. Is that there is a traditional folk tune called Derwent Waters Farewell, and the other thing that I noticed is that I was born in a hall. So this poem is will just tell you all about it, and it's called Derwent Water's Farewell. Slow, slow air in the key of G. The fiddler makes magic from horsehair and catgut, a swoon of sorrow and loss. The vinyl is nearing 50. The feet beating time on a recording studio floor in Hammersmith lead to Killing Ground at Tower Hill. Young James Adcliffe, but third Earl of Derwentwater, is about to lose his head. Jacobite's last words. He says he dies a Catholic in or a charity with all the world. He leaves a wife and baby. Stepping north, far north, to Derwentwater's home, Dilston Hall, near Corbridge, to the south of Hadrian's Wall. And in the blink of an eye, after the welling of a tear, a new hall in the grounds is a maternity hospital where babies greet the light to the joy of Tyneside mams. They feed, gurgle, wail, blow bubbles, mostly sleep. I am among those babies held safe in my mum's arms as I wait for the music to come. How does the next tune go? And that's it.
Fantastic. Loved it, Tony. Well done.
A true story, yeah.
Welcome back. It's always fastest finger first, like on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, to see who gets back in the room first. You're facing some...
Do you ever have that horrible feeling when you're doing something like this, that nobody's going to come back, that you open up again and sit there for ages waiting for someone to come back?
Yes. But you have come back, so that's great. I was worried with the opening up of things after lockdown. Everyone was like, we found other things to do now. We don't need to stare at Zoom anymore.
I like to think that nobody goes away at the end. Everybody just sits there waiting for you to come back on again. That's why you don't need to keep repeating the rules, because everybody knows, because we don't go away.
It's like that song. It's like that song, isn't it? Where it goes, "It's been 17 hours and 15 years."
We've got Andy as well.
Hello, Phil. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. How you doing?
Oh, good, thanks. I won't disturb you too long. Is it a big one?
A big birthday? 35. It's sort of not really. It hasn't got a 0 in it, so that's all right.
It's got a 5 in it. That's halfway.
Yeah, I know.
Nice to see everyone. I won't disturb you.
Well, hopefully we'll see you again before too long.
Yeah, hopefully. Toodles.
I think the last Poets Out Loud that was held in real life was on your dad's birthday, wasn't it, last year?
Yeah, it was March 11th.
And
Yeah.
I couldn't go because I was struck down by a mysterious flu.
Oh yeah, everyone sang to him and he was embarrassed.
Fantastic. Oh, good.
Do you ever have that thought that Zoom meetings, when they end, actually continue somewhere in another universe? That out there is all these continuous Zoom meetings spinning off into space?
Quite possibly, yeah.
I've never thought that.
They do have they do have the multiverse theory, where if you imagine it, it becomes reality. So if you imagine that we're all in this reality now, and then imagine we're all in this reality, but we've all got party hats on because it's Phil's birthday, that has existed, and that is to find an alternate universe.
You mean in a parallel universe, you've all got cake?
Exactly.
That reminds me of a thing you can do. Here's a thing. This is a good icebreaker if you do those sort of things. You say, right, everybody, whatever you do, under no circumstances, don't think about a white rabbit with a yellow hat. And then you build it up from there.
Cool.
Do you have a jelly?
Do I have a jelly? There is a jelly, yeah. So, yeah, but I've not had any yet. I was full of excitement and stuff. Shall we crack on? George, what have you got next for us?
Right, yeah. Well, sort of along the lines, I think someone mentioned earlier about this thing about, we've had lockdown, we're coming out of lockdown, and in some ways I quite like being in the solitude. So I thought I'd do a thing from, it's from the Year of the Loch, but it's a May poem, but it's actually called Missing Winter. I came the long way through Kilbarchan, a dappled canopy arched the narrow road, innocent leaves translucent in the sunlight. Past the Clacodric stone, which as teenagers we climbed, talked of virgin sacrifice. The valley fell open, loch like a blue cloth, spread in green patchwork. At the lochside, wind whips the surface, churns its soil-rich brown. Sailboarders slice the waves, canoeists make ready for a voyage, activity of light nights and good weather. It cheers me to see their pleasure, but I miss the grey, the rain, solitude.
Yeah, solitude can be a good thing. Yeah, I think you're right. We were saying before we sort of started, people might find it difficult to adjust going back to social situations, and I think there's quite a lot of truth in that. So we'll manage somehow.
Yeah, it's strange how the things you look forward to when they arrive suddenly begin to miss the thing that you thought you hated when you were in the middle of it.
Yeah.
I think that it is something that we need to think about and push ourselves if we have to, and don't make some sort of plan, you know.
Yeah. My greatest concern
Getting
is
back to normal. Yeah.
sorry, Tony. My greatest concern is all these people that for the last 12 months have been saying, "Oh yeah, we'll meet up when it's over," and I'm running out of an excuse to have to see the buggers now.
I must say, I've saved a fortune in buying people drink.
Yeah.
I've lost a fortune having to buy my own.
I haven't had any solitude for the last 12 months. It's been busier than ever, it seems. Because you normally get the boys kicked out of the house, whereas everybody's been cooped up in the house together. So finally getting scouts and things back on, it's like, go and enjoy yourselves. Out you go.
I work retail. We don't have a thing called lockdown.
Oh, I'm hospitality and retail, so snap.
It's just a case of we've had like closed for returns, but open for click and collect. So we've had people coming in and going, you know, why aren't you open? Well, this is why. You know, it's, you know, we don't set the rules. It's the head office. But why aren't you open? I've just said. I think manners has just went out the window for some people. So,
Well, as Mark or whoever was saying about the sales of alcohol being up, that's possibly why.
Oh, there's a correlation there. We need Fernando Smith to do a scientific paper on this too.
I think
to do
so.
some
Yeah.
research.
you know,
Speaking as one of the idle rich, I couldn't give a monkeys.
Here's something to think about, though. You know how everyone was battering on about the the stock of toilet rolls for replenishing over lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody mentions this, but in my shop, because I work in an electronics company, we actually ran out of under-counter fridges, so we had a shortage of them. Nobody mentioned that shortage.
That'd be where people were
Or
keeping.
people buying more than one at a time.
Yep, because they were stocking food.
Okay. So people have got houses full of toilet rolls and under-counter fridges now.
Sorry, I assumed they were stocking alcohol, Simon. Sorry, never occurred to me they might stock food. What a waste of a fridge.
I wonder if people have actually now got large supplies of very cold toilet roll.
Maybe. I don't think there'll be any overstock of alcohol, though. I think that's all gone.
Oh, good.
Simon, we're with you. What have you got for us?
Right. Well, I'm going to go positive because I can't dwell on negative poems too much, because I write a lot of negativity. But funnily enough, it made me giggle that I picked this one for tonight because Craig has actually, did one of his poems and it has a similar beat in a way. And I'm like, wow, okay. So putting a disclaimer, I wrote this before I met you, Craig. So, don't think I'm copying. But it's called You Are Everything, and it's inspired by, well, actually, it's not even inspired. I wrote it for a woman who was really unconfident with herself and everything, and I told her exactly how I felt through poetry. You are everything. A light in the darkness, the devil in the nighttime, a porcelain-painted beauty, eloquent with a sharp laugh, lips like sweet triumphant dreams and colours that bring a smile on anyone's face. But you are not just anyone. You are you, and that just doesn't get celebrated enough. You're an artist with makeup, a sunny day after the dark and the half-light moments, a goddess in many forms, but not just dominant in nature, but dominant in presence. As your command sends chills, sensations, your eyes widen and sweet complexities come through your eyes and are sweet and divine like a fresh summer's day. You are the stuff that dreams are made of, and the beauty of it all is you never see yourself the way I see you. You are you, a marvelous individual, and in eternity beyond eternal, you are you.
Great stuff. Cool. Excellent stuff there, Simon. Thank you very much. Jeanette, What have you got for us?
I've got a 53-word story. I had to go for a little contest, and the loose theme was something tasty, so I call mine Sandwiched. He always had the same filling. He'd eat his lunch, crush its wrapper, roll it into a boulder, push it, let it fall, then repeat the process. No time to notice the paper release or watch it flour. Monotony had furred his tongue, limited flavour. He missed the taste of fresh, broken bread. Thank you.
That was really good as well. Yeah, I like that. So more of that, more of Villanelle's.
Can I do a Villanelle with only 53 words?
Oh, that's like a challenge, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. See if you can. Yeah. Cool. All right. Craig, have you got some more?
I've had a route around and I found another one that I wrote and another one that I stole. So I'll do the one that I wrote first. Please, please help me. I'm going to die. Oh, I'm sorry. So are you. And then this is the one that I'm stealing. We spray all the vegetables with nicotine. Everyone gets addicted to salad. People on their break start chaining apples instead of cigarettes. Everyone's BMs are amazing and frequent. Everyone's skin clears up. We all get in great shape. Everyone starts jogging just for fun. We all fiend so hard for vegetables that sustainable agriculture practices thrive. Because of our association of the taste of vegetables with our ridiculous nicotine addiction, we now find sugar and junk food less appetizing. Nestle crumbles. We begin to genetically engineer the vegetables to naturally produce their own nicotine. We all think more sharply from the phytonutrients in our blood. We overthrow capitalism. We have nationally excellent gut health. We end all wars. We realize we've had the tools to automate virtually every job known to man for years, and we can power the robots with the sun and wind infinitely for the rest of time. We end labor and begin a new phase of human existence where the main goal of society isn't acquisition of wealth, but of experiences, knowledge, and understanding of self. We explore space and alternate dimensions in search of new, tastier vegetables to put in our salad. We unlock the secrets of the universe while also fiending immensely for our next hit of broccoli. Thank you.
Excellent stuff. Who was that by?
I'll try and find an author for you later.
Oh, right. Right. Thank you. Cool. All right. Lou.
Sorry if anyone saw her in the background with her teddies.
It's all right.
Stop it. Is being annoying on purpose. I just realised I have actually written something else. It's like longer than my other poems. I wrote it a while ago, so I kind of forgot about it. But it's funny. I wrote it for the girl I babysit. She's only 3, and her mum hates all of her children's books. So I tried writing like a children's book for her, and I'm going to do the drawings for it and stuff when I'm not busy. But it's about a bee who's got stars instead of spots. No, stars instead of stripes. I've called it Starbee, but I don't know if I'm going to give it another name or anything. There's a beehive in a garden underneath an apple tree. One morning, all the bees were woken up by a loud cry of yippee. Then the royal announcer bee blew the royal announcer horn. I have a royal announcement. The Queen's baby has been born. The Queen bee was delighted. She had a daughter, yellow as the sun, but where her stripes should have been, there were absolutely none. The little bee wished hard for stripes, but her yellow fuzz stayed clear. But one night when she was sleeping, her marks started to appear. When she woke up in the morning, it wasn't stripes she had. She was covered top to toe in stars. She thought her mummy might be sad. But the queen bee loved her daughter's stars. They're so special, don't you see? I don't care if you have stripes or not. You're my beautiful little star bee. But no one else would be her friend. The others never let her play. Stars just weren't the same as stripes. Starbie, go away. Her mummy told her they were beautiful. You should love them, little Starbie. But mummy, I don't look like you, and no one looks like me. Her mummy tried to hug her, but she flew off in a huff. She was sick of being bullied. The queen thought, well, that's enough. She blew the royal announcement horn and told off all the bees. I'm very disappointed, she cried, by how you laugh and point and tease. I know Starbie has stars, not stripes, but she's beautiful just the same. How would you like it if the other bees laughed and called you names? The bees mumbled and shook their heads, and one by one said sorry. But Starbie still had not returned. The queen had started to worry. Starbie was flying higher and higher, dipping and diving on her own, but she got fed up quite quickly. It was boring all alone. She drifted down into a garden and dropped onto a leaf with a sigh. I'm all alone, she whispered, and quietly began to cry. You're not alone, a voice chirped out, and up popped a second bee. I am alone, Starbie sobbed. Everyone makes fun of me. I won't make fun of you, the new bee said, but you've got stripes and I do not. Her new friend laughed and held out his hand. Hi, my name is Spot. Starbie stopped crying and gasped out loud. You don't have stripes, she cried with glee. Don't be so surprised, Spot said. There are lots of bees like you and me. He stood up and shook his wings. Follow me, we're just next door. They flew together over the fence, and Starbie couldn't believe what she saw. There were bees who had stripes, and bees who did not, and bees who had zigzags, and bees who had spots, and bees with just yellow, and some with just black, and bees with no wings, but just plain fuzzy backs. Starbie smiled her brightest smile at the bees buzzing about her head. She thought they were beautiful, and so was she, just like her mummy always said. She realised then she missed her mum, and she wanted to go home. It was nearly dinner time after all, and they were having honeycomb. What about the bully, Spot asked her. Come on, Starbie, please stay. You show me my stars are beautiful, so I don't mind what they say. So Spot showed Starbie how to get home, and she hugged her mummy with all her might. Starbie, sweetheart, where have you been? You gave me such a fright. Before she could answer her mummy or say she didn't have to worry, she was surrounded by her entire hive, all of them saying sorry. They said, we didn't mean to be nasty, and we're really sorry, Starbie, and I think your stars look really nice, and would you like to play with me? Starbie smiled at Spot and told him I'm going to be okay, and they promised to meet up tomorrow so they could fly about and play. Her mummy tucked her into bed, and Starbie told her all about her friends. I love my stars now, mummy, and all was happy in the end. So that was actually longer than I expected it to be. I haven't read it in a while.
No, that was lovely. Terrific.
Oh, and also before I forget, the Bush pub in Cockermouth, the one on Main Street, has just reopened, and I've been talking to the guy who's running it because he's just taken over, and he's open to the idea of poetry nights being hosted there. There's a big room upstairs, so if but we do end up needing a new venue, he's open to like someone running that.
Cool.
Job's yours, Lou. Job's yours.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do
The one little issue with that room is possibly for the likes of Mary, she might struggle with the stairs. But that's just a little thing. We've got big, strong young people like Philip Hewitson and, you know, Craig. They could carry. I mean, Mary, maybe not Mary. Maybe Mary's quite sprightly, actually. But anyhow,
not as young
yes.
as I used to be.
Yeah, but it is.
I just thought I should mention it if we do end up needing a new venue.
It is a big room up there because it's where CADs do their play readings.
Oh, right.
Cool.
And me and Tony be strong and young as well.
What? Hey, what? Yeah, you're Mark. You're strong and young and things.
Yeah, me and Tony, me and Big Tone.
Yeah. Oh, everybody.
Come in here with trainers on, you know.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, we there's a lot of love for the the Starby. That was.
I think that Starby should be published. Such
I
a
need to do some drawings for it, but I keep on getting distracted, and I don't like opening my laptop because then I need to do work.
I actually have to agree. I love that. I thought it should be a kid's book.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I would look into that, Lou. It was just perfect. It was.
Thank
Yeah.
you. I've only read it to my brother before, and he didn't really like it at all.
But that's brothers. That's brothers.
Yeah, brothers are the harshest critics, you know, next to mothers.
And ex-wives.
Well, behind
I think I
every
actually
man
need to
there's
go
always a
now,
woman
'cause I've just
shaking
been
her head.
told it's dinner.
Say again, Lou.
I think I'm gonna need to go now because I've just been told it's dinner.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Lovely to see you again. Excellent work.
Oh, I'm really glad I came along. Happy birthday, Phil.
You're very kind. Thank you very much.
Happy birthday.
Enjoy your dinner, and
It was really nice to see everybody.
And well done on that apprenticeship, Lou.
Thank you.
I was talking to your dad the other day, and he was like a Cheshire cat talking about you. He's so
Yeah, he mentioned
proud.
he'd seen you.
Yeah, well done. I think that's just amazing. You're going to be great.
Thank you. I really love it. I've been there since Christmas now, and the kids are just brilliant, and like they're really good about the fact that I'm like not male or female, and like the kids understood it like that, which is like really good to see.
So that's it. That's the thing when you're kids. You haven't been tainted and polluted and misguided, and yeah, you look really happy. I've never seen you
Thank you.
looking so happy. It's fab. Well done.
Thank you. It was really nice to see everybody. Bye.
Bye, Lou.
take care. We'll see you again soon. Great stuff. Okie dokie. Kevin. Hello.
I've got another one.
You haven't got another one? Oh.
Not at the moment.
Oh, I was looking
I've
forward
been
to another one.
so busy
That's all right.
doing different. I wanted to do next one, the end of the month. Yeah.
Yeah, there'll be one in a couple of weeks. Yeah. 26th, I think. Yeah. Cool. All
Yeah,
right.
I'm doing a reading. Oh, sorry. Go on.
What you say? Tell us, Kevin. What are you doing? You're doing a reading.
A reading on, if you know, something called Outside In. Have you heard of them? But
No.
they're mainly in the visual arts, but they've just started doing things to do with poetry. And what's interesting about it is they're showing paintings or drawings or whatever it is at the same time you read. So I'll be joining 6 other people at the end of it's on the 21st, I think.
Oh yeah, okay. Well,
Yeah.
tell us about it, and we can put a thing on the Facebook page and spread the word. It sounds really cool.
I was trying to get hold of it today, actually, to see if other people could tune into it or watch it. You know, it's 6 till 7.
Okay.
15, I think. I will let you know about it, Phil.
Cool.
Because it's quite an interesting development from them. They're based in Chichester House. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're interesting people. They've just fairly recently become a charity, but they did an exhibition at it's where the Guardian newspaper is in London, that big building there near King's Cross.
All right. Okay.
Grayson Perry was the judge.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah,
That's cool. Cool. Oh well, I hope it goes really well, and yeah, let us know, and we'll try and tune in for it. Sounds good.
Yeah, I'll let you know more about it. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm
Look forward to it.
Yeah.
All right. So, Susan, do you have another piece for us?
Well, it was weird about Jeanette talking about Villanelles, because this Dylan Thomas's Villanelle, Rage Against Dying of the Light, that's been kind of going through my head a little bit, but to change it a bit. I've got 2 verses that I'm happy with, and the end one, and the third one I don't know. Some people may take umbrage to the language, but anyway, where are we now? So I've only got 3 verses of it yet. So, what wisdom may have once informed the right has been dissolved for vile corruption pay, rage against the lying and the shite. And yet we find ourselves without voice or fight, while xenophobia seems to rule and sway old men whose mental grasp is not that tight. Despairing while the future's far from bright, and history lessons never show the way, old men whose mental grasp is not that tight, don't rage against the lying and the shite. That's all I've got so far. But I may have to change the old men line, but it rhymed with the original, so that's what I wanted to go for. But
oh, it's good. It's good. Work in progress. Yeah. Excellent. Okay. I think we're back to Annie. Have you come up with another bit?
God, I've got so many mouses and keyboards here. I keep clicking that. Yes, I finished it. So, well, it's kind of, I say it's finished. Yeah, it's finished. What the hell? Is my microphone on? Yes.
Yeah.
So, right. It sounds a bit, but it isn't really. Yeah, I haven't got a title for it yet. Here I go. The forced time ashore, Hull's fist up the beach, left to lie bloated and heavy. Time in hand, I watch the second hand ticking. Time in hand, the world around me slows. I can see the minute move. Time in hand, becalmed. The hour hand seems fleet as I watch it circumnavigate the disk. The boat, which should have carried me to my dreams, lies heavy and bloated on the beach. Time in hand, the world grinding to a halt. Even I have stopped. Pulled from the dark holds into the light, the precious hoard of albatross. Day after day I have bailed the boat, the journey to the dreams stalled in the desperate fight to keep afloat, keep the albatrosses dry to the journey's end. The forced time ashore, Hull's fists down the beach to be lifted into the silence sluice of water. The boat is weightless and watertight. Bailers lie redundant in the empty holds, and the albatrosses are left behind to lie bloated and heavy on the beach. That's it.
Wow, that was fantastic.
Thank you very much. That is the first poem I've written since last year.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So cool.
Great stuff. Well,
and am I the last one? Can I just say?
You might be. Yes. I think it's
God,
a good.
Because I really hate Craig for his nicotine vegetables. What, a cigarette now? I don't really hate you, Craig.
No, you want a broccoli. You don't want a cigarette.
Okay.
You want celery. Not
It's the
celery.
craving talking.
Just light up a carrot.
Yeah.
All I've
Works
got
for
are
Clive Owen.
green tangerines. What is that about?
Is that not the Savoy
Isn't that a
Truffle?
German band?
I thought it was the Beatles.
Green tangerine.
Green Tangerines from the Beatles song.
Savoy
Green
Truffle.
Tangerine, Montelema. The White Album, I think.
Yeah,
I
George
thought you meant
Harrison.
Tangerine Dreams, the band.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I thought you
Yeah.
said Tangerine Dreams, and I'm there like, no, band.
Oh, yeah. Cool. All right. Well, I think we've come to the end of another crazy installment.
What do you do with the rest of your birthday, Phil?
Probably going to be editing this into some kind of viewable shape for people.
Oh, life in the fast lane, eh?
I know.
Happy birthday, Phil. I haven't said it to you yet. Happy birthday, Phil.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. You've all all
Happy birthday, Phil.
said lovely, lovely, lovely things. And give yourselves a round of applause, everyone who read. And everyone who listened. Everybody who stayed to the end. And everyone who's looking after us with the essential workers and all that. And anybody whose birthday it happens to be. Thank you.
Charlie Darwin.
Thank you, yeah. It's not the first
Thank
time
you for
that
hosting, Phil.
comparison's been drawn. Well, thank you for starting it, Annie. And yeah, we'll sort out some kind of plan.
I mean, I say it's just at the moment it's kind of working out that every other month I'm on late shift, so which is going to make it awkward. And I think also on a personal side, new things, new roads. The boat is now weightless, and a lot of albatrosses have been left on the beach.
What, indeed?
It's not a thing. Yeah. I wish I had that poem written before I could have told you, but there you go.
That was great. Cool.
I've got to think
We'll all year now not to write a poem. You don't have to do another one till next year.
Yeah.
What a relief.
To be honest, I thought, if I do this, there won't be any more of this turning up poets and going, I managed to write a poem half an hour ago, and yet here I am, all the time in the world, and still writing a bloody poem just before Poets Out Loud starts.
I think that personally is. Can I just say that's personally the best kind of poetry when it's done on the spot, because
absolutely.
I was in the crowd during the Save the NHS, rant type thing where it was in Carlisle. They were all protesting and stuff, and they were talking about each of their stories of why the NHS mattered. And while I was listening to them, I'm there on my phone, writing up a poem inspired by the atmosphere, inspired by everything. And I got up and that because he asked if anybody else wanted to speak, and I was like, I've got a poem I can speak, and I said it, and it was just basically saying, save the NHS, count the cost, not the cost of the lives, not so much of the the cost of the running it and everything, weigh up the advantages and stuff. And when I came down, this woman came up to me and said, you're a very good speaker. I was like, well, thank you. And she said, do you want to speak for the Labour Party? And I went, I'll tell you now, I am a Labour supporter, but I don't want to be under fire with the press. So, no.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. That's the power of poetry there, Simon. That's fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
I mean, well done. The other poem I was going to read tonight if we had time, but we don't have time, unfortunately, was actually a poem I wrote and read out at the International Bar in Dublin, which is famous for the starting of the Irish revolutions, and also Seamus Heaney had read out his poetry there as well. It was quite an underground bar, so I was therefore tapping into the history.
Oh, absolutely. Save it for next time. We'll see you again next time in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I look forward to it.
Cool.
And thank you for being accommodating. I've got to go, unfortunately, but it's been lovely seeing everybody. And that you've all sounded. So thank you.
Thank you. Take care, everybody. Have a safe trip home.
See you now.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye, Phil.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Phil.